This is The Download from Sounds Profitable, your daily source for the essential news in the business of podcasting. I'm Gavin Gaddis. Before I get into the news, a brief aside. I will be out of town for a concert tomorrow. Tom Webster will be taking over writing The Download tomorrow, but there will be no podcast version. I will be back Wednesday. See you then. For now, here's what you need to know for today, Monday, March 7th. First up, a new thing from Sounds Profitable. Coworking, Matillo Kamei of Podcast Reach Network. We kick off our news segment interviewing folks around the wide world of podcasting with the Director of Brand Partnerships at Podcast Reach Network. Kamei speaks to the collaborative nature of podcasting, urging newcomers to focus on networking with both creators and advertisers. To that note, he swears by Podscribed, LinkedIn, and LinkedIn's in-mail messages as valuable tools, especially if starting from scratch. You can learn more about Kamei in the full interview linked in the newsletter available on Sounds Profitable. Next up, the tolerance and effectiveness of in-game audio ads. This is from Veritonic and Audiomob, covered by Rain News. The recent study from Veritonic and Audiomob, titled The Power of In-Game Audio Advertising, is a white paper built from a comprehensive brand lift study conducted by the two companies, surveying a mixed gender group of 333 mobile game players aged 25 to 65 plus. All responses were from users who had heard or interacted with Audiomob's ad format. Key findings include a high amount of ad tolerance, with 54% of respondents saying they preferred non-intrusive audio ads over interruptive video formats. Only 9% preferred video ads to audio, indicating audio ads are far more palatable to the mobile gaming market. Next up, podcasting is asking the wrong question about video. This is from Steve Pratt. A common mindset throughout the podcasting industry is publishers asking, how do I turn my audio podcast into video? Pratt challenges that as the wrong approach, as it ignores the context through which the podcast existed in the first place. Audio content is built for the context where someone cannot use a screen. For example, driving, cleaning the house, or cooking. While it cannot be as engaging, in other situations it wasn't built for, such as on a living room TV or as second screen content while reading the newspaper. A different framework that still allows for diversifying audio and video content is a network strategy thinking. How do I best serve my audience on each platform? Pratt uses ESPN as an example. They exist across multiple platforms and modes of content. While unique strategies for each are required, they're all identifiably ESPN. In a sentence, the piece challenges podcasting to think like a network. Next up, in focus, the random Google News audio downloads. Coverage of a recent spike in downloads to Pod News Daily that sent episode downloads from their normal range of 2,500 to around 40,000. On further investigation, Cridlin determined the downloads are coming from Google News audio briefings. For example, when someone asks their smart speaker, "Hey Google, play the latest news." Sorry for those of you I just set off. And that they're exclusively coming from Indonesia and Malaysia from an Android phone's generic Dalvik user agent. Triton Digital's Sharon Taylor, EVP of Podcast and Content Delivery, also shares Triton Digital's findings of odd download behavior from that generic Android user agent in several countries. Attempts to contact the audio side of Google to rectify the situation have not made progress since early March. Cridlin notes the million-ish downloads coming from Google News auto-downloading the latest episode of his podcast are technically IAB verified, as they are total downloads of the file. That said, IAB version 2.2 guidelines do account for anomalies like this, with huge spikes being flagged as something that should be investigated further. And for our final top story, how to market to the whole family at once. A recent study from Razorfish looks at the purchasing power of Generation Alpha, built of kids 15 and younger. Nearly 7 in 10 own a luxury product by the age of 10, and 35% aspire for a luxury car when they're older. Starglow founder Jed Baker tells Forbes that Gen Alpha and their parents are a key demographic for messaging, citing the growing popularity of kids and family podcasts. In an extended interview, Baker goes on to say trust is podcasting's most valuable currency. If marketers can maintain authenticity and keep on message, podcast audiences are actively paying attention. In the world of social media and digital advertising, the average view is someone passively scrolling their phone or walking past a billboard. Podcast ads are a different context and have more oomph as a result if done correctly. As for the rest of the news, public voting for the Webbies is open until April 17th. There's a lot of Sounds Profitable partner companies in that list. Go vote. AdLarge and the Forward Network have announced their EVP Revenue of Operations as industry veteran Elvira Marciszek. Wondercraft co-founder Oscar Sarander posts some thoughts on Spotify's Advance event, including a link to Spotify's official partner directory, which happens to include Wondercraft. Libsyn has announced a multi-year advertising and hosting partnership with Bachelor Universe alum Nick Vile's podcast, The Vile Files, and his audio-first media company, NV Media. Adam Putterman, co-founder of Hours Privacy, has announced a new integration with Podscribe that brings his company's HIPAA-compliant customer data and privacy platform into Podscribe's marketing intelligence engine for podcast advertising. Realm is growing their stable of actual play RPG podcasts with a new exclusivity deal, bringing in the Glass Cannon podcast in its 10th year of production. And iHeartMedia has announced a big push in the Asian Pacific, that's APAC, region with a slate of multi-language podcasts from high-profile hosts done in partnership with Mammoth Media Asia. The first shows from that new slate are charted to come out sometime in June. Be sure to check out all the links to every article mentioned right in your podcast listening app or at soundsprofitable.com, where you can also subscribe to the newsletter version. The download is written and produced by myself, Brian Barletta, and Tom Webster. For Sounds Profitable, I'm Gavin Gaddis. Download us again Wednesday.